Hello, everybody, and welcome to the monthly Oracle Wisdom for October 2025. Halloween season is upon us, and we are going to have a look at what the Oracle cards have to say for the month ahead. As I have been doing for a number of months now, we have pick a pile. So pile number 1, we have Tiger's Eye. Pile number 2, we have my Shungite, Truth Palm Stone. And pile number 3, we have red Tiger's Eye. So as always, take a deep breath and just think about which stone or stones resonate for you. And we're going to begin. So for those of you that picked pile number 1, which is the Tiger's Eye, we are going to get started, and the first deck we're using is a Future Higher Self Oracle. So we'll just have a look at all of them that have come out and then have a look at what the cards are saying. It's okay not to have all the answers. They will come to you when you need them. It will all make sense to you soon. Follow your heart. Following your heart will lead you to the right things. Don't take action when there's a feeling of resistance. You're shedding energies that no longer match your frequency. So I feel like there's doubt in whatever direction you're moving in, and you're feeling unsure about how this is going to play out. The whole thing is, there are moments in time where we have to trust what the universe has in store for us and trust that the timing of it all is correct. And this is one of those moments where we're feeling frustrated because we don't have those answers. But the reality is we will get the answers and the response that we need when the time is right. And this is the universe reminding you that you are going to have it all make sense, but it's just you don't have it right in this moment. It's also reminding you that providing you're being true to you and you are following your heart and what you know you're called to do and where you're called to be, that this is going to work. This is going to work out in your favor. Now, the caveat here is if you're feeling a whole lot of resistance, that's where you need to pay attention, because there is a difference between following your heart and going, okay, this is where I know I'm meant to be, and having a hurdle and needing to sort of figure that out and move in that direction, that's one thing. To hit a brick wall and be told unequivocally this isn't where you're meant to be and you keep pushing forward, that's where you're going to have issues. So you have to pay attention to those things that are popping up. The other thing is you're shedding energies that no longer match your frequency. And if you've ever watched any of my readings before, you know that I always talk about when we're leveling up, and there's been a lot of that recently, that when we need to level up, the universe will make us shed the things that don't serve us. Sometimes that's a job. Sometimes that's a person in our life. A friendship can suddenly end. Sometimes it's a relationship. And we are devastated because we are emotionally attached to these things. Maybe it's a material item that we have to shed, and we're like, I don't want to let go of this. This means so much to me. The reality is you're being called to let it go because it doesn't serve you, and there is something else that will come in its place. But that thing or that person can't come in until you shed what doesn't serve you. And this always happens when we're leveling up. So if what you're working on is leveling up, you need to be prepared to shed the parts that don't serve you. So just be aware of that. If there is something that is being lost, that's okay. And it's part of this journey. So then I've pulled 3 cards from the Magic Spirit Oracle. I feel like these are very Halloween-ish. It's okay to forget and then remember all over again. So this card is the Voyager, return home, lessons and realizations. So I feel like you're going to have the epiphanies of why these things are taking place. I feel like there are going to be answers to your questions. And if when you're watching this at the beginning of the month, you're like, I don't know why this is happening and I don't want it happening in this way or in this timing. Okay, that's fine. But it is going to be made clear. You are going to get those answers. The return home, I feel like that's you going within and really touching base with your soul and remembering why you're on this journey and understanding that. I feel like that's a really big part of this. And in doing that, that's when it becomes easier to shed the things that no longer serve you because you understand the higher purpose. Now, here's the caveat with shedding things that don't serve you. There are moments where things come back to you. There was, and I don't know why this is what I'm seeing, but it is, I have one antique. Antiques are not my thing. I don't need to go to the antique markets or anything like that. When I was in a relationship with the person who's very abusive, who I hadn't figured all of this out yet, we went to a place and I walked into a room and I saw this bronze dragon, and it is one of my most prized possessions. And I saw this bronze dragon and I immediately felt a soul connection. It's the same thing as when you meet someone on the street and you know that you've known that person for 1,000 years and you become fast friends and it's as if they've always been in your life. That was the relationship I had with this dragon, and it has the most incredible history, which for some people it freaks them out. For me, I just think it makes him more magical. And I always feel protected when dragon is in my house. And everyone in my life knows about dragon. And when I announced that I was moving countries, I got emails and calls and texts from people that I didn't think had ever paid attention to much of what was going on in my life. And they were all asking to buy dragon from me. And I'm like, absolutely not. Just because I'm moving doesn't mean I'm letting him go. Here's the thing. I wanted to buy dragon immediately upon seeing him. And I spoke to my dad and I was like, hey, can you help me buy him? Because I just didn't have the funds at the time. My dad said, absolutely not. And I was devastated. I cried over the fact that I could not get this dragon. And years go by. I get myself out of this abusive relationship. And the 2 days before I actually moved out of the home that we had been living in for a year after we'd broken up, it's a whole story. I got home from work and this man had cleared out the house and stolen half of my possessions. And my family went, what are you going to do? And I said, he is trying to engage me in an argument with him. He's trying to engage me in a battle because that keeps control over me. And I said, everything that he's stolen are just things. I can replace everything. I shouldn't have to. And legally what he's done is wrong. It's not worth the battle. And I remember thinking, if I had bought dragon, I guarantee he would have stolen dragon. Anyway, time passes. I went to this person's house. They had moved from where I saw dragon the first time, and someone was not the owners of the house, but they gave me a tour, this other person, of the house that we were in. And I walked into this oddly shaped room that was stacked to the rafters with antiques. And I walked into this room and I gasped. My breath was caught and I said, dragon's here. And I walked in the room around this corner and there was dragon. And this guy said to me, he goes, that's really weird that you knew where he was. And I said, I'm telling you, this is my piece. And I made an offer to buy dragon that day. And the people said, no, we've already sold him. He's going as a collection somewhere else. And I cried again for the loss of this piece. Again, there was just this soul connection. And I got a phone call a week later saying, if you want Dragon, we're going to honor the original price we ever gave you, and we're happy to sell it to you. And I set something up so that I could purchase him. And to this day, I have Dragon. He's lived in multiple countries. It is what it is. My point with that is when you let go of the things that are not meant for you, and it could be a friendship that needs to separate now because you both have to move in different directions and be on your own journeys and have your own growth, you may come back together, whether that be a friendship, a romantic relationship, family relationship. Sometimes we have to separate to do the work on ourselves so that we can come back together and have a healthier relationship. Maybe it's a job. Maybe it's an antique piece. I don't know. Maybe it's a car that you love that you need to part with in this moment. But it's for your highest good, and what is meant for you will always come back to you. And I was so devastated when I couldn't have this piece. And again, I know it sounds materialistic. I know it sounds silly, but I always feel safe. And this Dragon always sits not necessarily next to my front door, but almost in a place of protection for me. And it is what it is. But I had to release him multiple times and wait for that perfect timing for him to come back to me. So whatever it is you're shedding, it doesn't mean it's forever. It means for right now, it doesn't serve you. Dark night of the soul, transformation, awakening, tower. So the tower is the tower moment that we all go through. And it sucks when we have a dark night of the soul. And that is possibly what's coming for you in this month. And that's okay, because what happens on the other side of the dark night of the soul is we level up in a way that is incomparable to any other sort of type of leveling up, because we're forced into that space. The other thing is we can have transformation without the dark night of the soul. It depends how much work you have done for yourself. So keep that in mind. The other thing is awakening. Maybe you just have those epiphanies of going, holy crap, this is where I'm meant to be. This is what's meant to be happening, and I need to just go with it. And maybe that's all that needs to happen. So a lot of this stuff comes with or is dependent on how much work you've done for yourself prior to. So just, I never forget that. And then the last card from this deck is Flower Child. Momentum, creativity, and action. You're going to start gaining the momentum to get to the place that you want to and need to. I think that the creativity is that you may need to get creative in thinking of the solutions and how you're going to get there. And you are more than capable of doing that. So that's fine. And then action. It's manifestation is one thing, but there is always a certain amount of action that is required. We can't sit on a rock somewhere in the forest and say, I want $1 million and I want this and I want that. The universe expects to see a certain amount of action. I know there are people that disagree with this, but I don't believe a unicorn or Rumpelstiltskin is going to appear if you're sitting on a rock working on manifestation and present you with $1 million. The universe wants to see that you're working towards something, and then it'll reward you fully. So we've just pulled one card from Messages from Spirit Oracle, which is a MahrukhX deck. Cosmic Dancer, optimism, hope, and rhythm. Lighten up, play, and enjoy this moment. See the many, many blessings in your life, and more blessings will follow. Have faith that things are going to turn out beautifully. So this month, a lot of it is about your state of mind. It's about whether you accept the timing of the universe, and if you want to fight it, you will make this journey more difficult. And I think that is probably what would lead to the dark night of the soul, versus accepting what the timing of the universe is, how you're going to get there, and being grateful for all the things that you have and the blessings you have in your life, and being able to move forward from there. And when you're in that place of gratitude, the universe will give you more to be grateful for. All in all, I do think it's a positive month. There are going to be moments where you're called to step up and be really honest about what is going on. And and look within. But I feel ultimately that it's all moving in a very positive direction. And the question is, how difficult or easy do you want this journey to be? If you want it to be difficult and you want the dark night of the soul, fight the timing of the universe, fight everything that you're being asked to do, and you'll have that moment. If you're able to surrender and trust and do the work that you need to do, it's going to be an easier transition. I hope this helps, and I hope that it is a wonderful Halloween for you, which obviously happens at the end of the month, and you're able to sit back and sort of exhale and go, I understood what she was saying. So now we're moving on to pile number 2, which is the Shungite Truth Palm Stone. Okay, so we are starting with the Future Higher Self Oracle. We're going to look at all 5 cards that I pulled and we'll break them down. Be careful who and what you surround yourself with. You won't always feel alone. You're attracting your soul tribe. Believe in yourself and your ability to carry out your dream. This card always reminds me of LA, the girl with the guitar. You can see the embers from a fire and see her looking out over a city. I have photos of me from Runyon Canyon with a similar vibe, except it was daytime. Spend less time worrying about your appearance. You're enough. You have so much to offer the world. Don't ever doubt your contribution. So I think the first 2 cards, be careful who and what you surround yourself with, and you won't always feel alone. You're attracting your soul tribe. There's people in your life that are not serving you and are not there hoping for your highest good. And I think you need to pay attention to who you're surrounded by and question whether or not they serve you. And if they're not serving you, let them go. And I understand that sometimes it's scary and we think that we'll never find these other friendships, or what if you're wrong? You know what? You don't need to just cut people off cold, but you can distance yourself and just create space in your life, because in doing that, you do attract your soul tribe. And this is so important. When you attract the right people into your life, it makes it so much easier to manifest. And when you surround yourself with higher vibrational people, you operate at a higher vibrational level. If you are with people that are operating at a lower vibrational level, that's what you're surrounded by. That's what you're putting out into the universe, and it doesn't suit you. Especially if you're in a place where you're working towards something and you need to fully believe in that. And if you are surrounded by people that don't believe in you, don't encourage you, and don't support you, you need to move away from them, because you are never going to achieve the dreams and the things that you need to if you're surrounded by people that are telling you that you can't. And I feel like this has something to do with it. Spend less time worrying about your appearance. You're enough. Listen, I've told this story before in previous readings. I don't remember if it was a monthly or a weekly, but I went on to the season 1 of The Bachelor Australia, and I had a plan with my main booker at my agency, and we had a plan for how we would utilize that platform moving forward. And when I came out and the show aired, this woman that I thought would be my champion, she was horrible, started criticizing me in a way that I can't even describe. And she never followed up on any of the things that we discussed. And I realized very quickly she wasn't my friend. And, you know, it sucked. A friendship breaking down always sucks. But it served me in that I was then surrounded by people that were my champion, that did support me and wanted me to succeed and helped me do that. And when I was around her, I second guessed everything that I did, how I looked, how I presented myself, all of that. The reality is I never complained that I got a bad edit on that show. What I got was an edit that showed one part of me but didn't show the fun, goofy, caring side. But if you watch the show, a friend called me this was when they were still locking people up for 2 weeks if they flew in from another country into Australia. And a friend was in lockdown and he said to me, I binge watched your season. And he said, they didn't do you justice. And I went, it's fine though, because I didn't say anything horrible. They couldn't show me doing anything horrible. I think there was one day where I was like, rolling my eyes. And the reason I was rolling my eyes is because we had been sitting waiting to film a scene for 2 hours, and then we were just told we had to wait another hour. That was where they got that footage from, not in reaction to what was actually going on. And my friend said they didn't show who you really are, but if you watch in the background, when a girl's belt broke, he could see me fixing the girl's belt, fixing people's dresses, like always making sure girls were okay so that they would look good on camera. I never did say a bitchy thing about anybody. And so that's what it was. But this friend who was meant to support me and work with me and do all these things, no. And when I got rid of her, I was surrounded by people that loved and supported me. So, and then you have so much to offer the world. Don't ever doubt your contribution. What you're doing is important, and you have to remember that. From these first few cards, I feel like the message is that you need to clean house a little bit and make sure that everything is operating at the highest frequency that you can, and you need to have this belief in yourself. And I feel like this month is going to be a journey of you getting there. So we're pulling 3 cards from the Magic Spirit Oracle in honor of Halloween. And this is the moon. What if your strangeness is actually your brilliance? Duality, hidden gem, secret power. I think that this is what these people who aren't serving you, this is what they're stopping you from realizing about yourself. You are unique in who you are and what your abilities are. And they are trying to squash that because they're either intimidated by it, they're scared by it, they are jealous of it. And that's why they don't want you to succeed. This is time to realize who you are and step fully into your authenticity. And the moment you do that, that is the moment you will attract success. We all come to this earth, uniquely us, to fulfill our destiny and our role. And by trying to be a sheep, by trying to fit in, that becomes impossible. The moment we are authentic, look at all the people that have taken off on TikTok or Instagram or whatever. The people that never expected to be famous or TikTok famous, whatever you want to call it, they became that way. And I'm thinking specifically of Selena Boo Boo or Selena Spooky. She's the chick that she's written a whole bunch of books. She was collecting the funeral cars. I can't think of the word for it right now. But she's a complete weirdo, and she would post stories of her sleepwalking. Brilliant. I laugh my ass off when she does that. And she has posted content saying, I never thought anybody would ever watch what I was doing, but this is who I am. And I was the freak at school, and I was the weirdo, and I never fit in. And then I found this online community that love and support me. And this is a lesson for everybody. You have to be true to who you are if you really want to succeed. Standing in that authenticity is what will bring you success. So then we've got Memento Mori. The meaning is in the middle. Life, presence, and depth. Time to get deep, baby. It is time to delve in. And this is so connected to the moon card. It is time to go deep and be honest about who you are and live this life in your authenticity. That is what you are here to do. And it's time for you to step up and do that. And then the final card here is the Seeker. Could you surrender just a little bit more? All seeing eye, spirit, and release. Yep. This is what this month is about. All 3 of these cards have confirmed everything that I've said. Open up your third eye. Be that sparkly chick with the glitter on her face and connected to the universe, running underneath the moon and the stars in the forest with bare feet, and do your weird thing. Let your freak flag fly, let it fly high and embrace it, and just, you will feel so much better. You will feel so much more comfortable. You will feel like you're moving in the right direction. Now, to be perfectly honest, when you first start doing this, there will be people that will tell you you're crazy and you're wrong and you shouldn't do it and you need to conform. These are the people you need to let go of, because that's their shit that they're projecting onto you. It has nothing to do with you. And 9 times out of 10, it's because they are too scared to do what you are brave enough to do. And then we're going to finish with messages from Spirit Oracle. Business affairs, entrepreneur and business owner. Don't underestimate the influence you can have in the business world. Your inner self craves to express its uniqueness by creating a business that mirrors your identity and values. Go for it. Now, if that's not a perfect way to confirm everything that we've just talked about and telling you exactly what this month is about, I can't help you. This is what this is for you. And this to me is super exciting, because even though we're focused on one thing for this reading, this is going to set you up for everything that is coming down the road in the most exciting way. So embrace it, run with it. I'm actually super excited for you, because there is a freedom once you step into who you actually are. So please do it. Trust yourself. Trust that you are enough, because you absolutely are. Okay, and moving on to pile number 3, which is the red tiger's eye. Okay, from the Future Higher Self Oracle, we have new chapters require a new version of you. You will be blessed with more than you could ever imagine. There's still time to change the road you're on. It's never too late. A powerful change will transform your life. All the right things will come to you in the most unexpected ways. Okay, so you are being called to level up, and there have been a number of readings over the last few months where people have been called to level up, but this is either it's time to level up again or you didn't do it last time. I do think that this card, it's never too, there's still time to change the road you're on. It's never too late. I feel like you may have chosen to stay on the path that is familiar, and that it's the better the devil you know. This is where I want to go, but that is terrifying. I don't know what exists there. If I stay here and just keep plodding along, I know where I'm going. I know where this ends. I know how it plays out. That is not going to serve you in any way, shape, or form. So you need to level up. But with that happening, you're going to be blessed with more than you could imagine. So this is a payoff, right? When we take a risk, it is a gamble, and we don't know whether it's going to be for our betterment or our detriment. But the reality is, you are going to be blessed with more than you could ever imagine. This gamble is going to pay off, but you need to do the work. You need to level up, and you need to step into that. And in doing that, you're transforming your life. The other thing is, there are things that are coming to you that you are not expecting, that you can't see, that you have no idea about, but the universe can't present it until you do the work and you level up and you go, right, this is where I need to move to. So this is a moment in time where you need to be brave. You need to be brave. Okay, we are looking at the Magic Spirit Oracle. The mirror, self-reflection, writer, big picture. So this is where you need to reflect on what it is you want in this life. And the reality is you can stay on the road you're on. You're going to be fine, but you also know what you're going to be getting. The question is, will you be happy? And this is where it's time to sit and reflect on what it is that you're getting. I'm trying to read. I don't have my glasses. Hang on. I'm using the camera on my phone so I can read what's written on this book, on this card. Did you forget all you had to go through to be you? Okay. Did you forget all that you had to go through to be you is what's written on the cover of the book. And look at what's spilling out of it. It's all that magic of who she is. You can see the butterflies flying around. You came here to be the highest version of yourself. You're choosing at this moment safety versus doing the work because it's scary and you don't know where it's going to end up. But the universe has your back and you're going to get through it. Potential and possibility, future, higher self, quantum. Reach out to the potential that is calling for you. The universe desperately wants you to follow what your soul purpose is. The universe is calling for you to level up and step onto this new path. You have free will. Everything is a choice. You can do whatever it is you want to do. But the universe is adamant that this is the message that you need to get. Harmony, ease, inner child, and softness. May sweet and soft things find you. And we've got the little bumblebee fairy and the sunflower coming together. I feel like this is almost like the payoff, the sweet things you're going to be able to soften and be truer to who you are because you're going to be happier in this other space. And I think in that space, you're going to be able to nurture your inner child. Interesting, because I was debating whether to use the inner child oracle to finish off this reading, and I ended up going with messages from Spirit Oracle, which is flower child, peaceful time, simplicity, a quiet mind, a content heart, without longing and fulfillment of the soul leads to peace. Peel away the non-essential to reveal what's truly important and find joy in the ordinary. So I feel like all of this is what's on the other side of the transformation. And it's about when you level up and you're able to get to a space which is more authentic, which is where you're functioning at a higher vibrational level, everything becomes easier to navigate. So your mind is quieter, you're softer because you're happy versus walking down a path. To me, if you look at this, even though it looks cold, it looks like the path that you're on is in darkness, it's cold. But if you walk through that tunnel, which I know it looks snowy and still cold, but there's sun coming through. The sun represents warmth and growth because we can't grow without the sun. When you do that and you're operating at your highest vibration, following your soul's mission and purpose, everything else softens and releases. And in that growth, you're able to nurture that inner child and get to a place that serves you. And things, it's not just simplicity of life, it's simplicity in how we function and move through the world. It's simplicity in how we view the world because suddenly everything's a lot less complicated. I think this is a great month for you. All you have to do is kind of commit to like stepping into this new chapter or beginning this new chapter and starting the work that is required for you to level up. It doesn't all need to happen in one moment or at one time, but you're going to be rewarded in such a massive way. And powerful change transforms lives. And that's absolutely true. So I hope this is an exciting month for you where you're able to enjoy the journey and really relax into it and allow the blessings from the universe to come in and serve you in the way that they want to. And when you commit, the universe will match your energy and join you at the same time. There is so much going on here, and this mirror card is reminding you of how much work you've already done, and you don't want to let that go by staying in a place that doesn't serve you. I hope these messages resonate with you. As I always say, though, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Not every reading is for every person. I am so thankful for all the subscribes, likes, comments, everything that people leave on these readings, both the monthly and the weekly. I love when you tell me which pile you picked and whether it does resonate with you. So please keep that coming. Please make sure you share these readings with your friends. I don't advertise these readings on purpose because I want them to reach the people that they're meant to, but any help that you guys can give by sharing that, it is deeply appreciated. I hope you have a wonderful Halloween, and I will see you next Monday for the weekly Oracle Wisdom.